Hi, this is James from the Hornbill Technical Support team, and this is a short tutorial to show you how to log calls against CIs. So this is just a general overview of how Supportworks handles the associations and relationships between calls and your CMDB items. So I'm going to show you a couple of examples when logging calls. This is currently based on the ITSM 3414 template. It's applied to all ITSM versions. It may vary in terms of how the form looks, but essentially it's going to be exactly the same sort of functionality. So I'm going to open up a new log new incident form here, and the first thing I'm going to do is just open up one of our favourite demo customers, Mr. Alan Castle, and this is automatically loaded his services and CIs that he's the owner of and that he's subscribed to. So on the right hand side here you can see his CIs and items, and usually when you're logging a new incident you would take it from the top to bottom in terms of you'd write down the details of this incident. You could have an issue with its hard drive issue, and then you'd instantly take what's associated to them. Is that, yeah, well, no, this is going to be affected, so I'm going to tick it. It could be related to one of his services here. The email service might be down. This is what he's reporting against. This is the one that has the problem. So as soon as you do that, as soon as you do tick one of these items here, that does a number of things. Also, on the associated information tab, you can see that it will add them as a list here. Even if you add several, it will continue. Even more services, anything associated to the call itself will be there. It will save that to the database itself, and obviously it can be reported on. You might want to view the other tutorials around reporting, but absolutely you can report on based on how many calls have been logged against a particular CI. It's all there. It's all there in the database. So as soon as I actually log that, so I'm just going to log and accept that particular call. And just going to open up the call again. Again, now this is obviously going to bring back the currently affected CI, so the ones that you've ticked, these are the ones that the issue's been reported against. So I'm going to double click on the CI itself and show you that not only does it show it from the call perspective, it will show it from the CI perspective. So if you're entering a particular CI, you can go to associated requests, which will show you the incidents, problems, known errors, changes, releases, service requests, everything that's actually been logged against that particular CI, which is very handy if you want to see just a kind of general overview of what's happened with that particular CI in terms of like actions and what's actually happened. It could have gone down at any particular point, and that's really handy in terms of services as well. You can do exactly the same thing with services. You can see how many times like maybe an email service has been affected. You can do some event monitoring around that as well. But yeah, that's just a general idea around the associations and relationships with open calls and CIs. It's exactly the same around the other forms as well. So in terms of a change request, in this particular instance you'll have a separate tab to actually associate via the associated information. You can do simply a search. Bear in mind that change requests not necessarily need to be associated to a particular customer, which is the reason why there isn't a box down in the bottom right hand side here. So it's going to be the same across the board for the problem. That we're going to be similar to the change in terms of you can associate a customer, however you need to then associate a particular CI against it. There is options within the data dictionary for you to either ensure that a CI is selected when logging a call, or you can obviously do the opposite way around in terms of you don't need a CI when you log a call. I can show you right now where them settings are. So this is purely for the incident call class. So within administration and edit current data dictionary, you can go into the global parameters. Then within global parameters you'll have application settings. Once you click on incident, you have a number of settings here, one of which is the one that allows you to either use the CI assessment levels, which will allow you to use the SLA and priorities that you've set against the actual CI. We'll probably go more into depth with that when we go over tutorials of CMDB. But if you're setting an SLA profile, etc., against a CI, that will bring it into the call as soon as you select that particular CI and say that one's affected. But the one that we're going to choose here is the onlogging require CI. So by default it is 0. If I set that to 1 and save the data dictionary, it won't let you actually log the call until you do associate that CI against the call. So that's all. It's all very simple, really. But if you do have any questions, please let me know.